Hello, 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 and welcome to PONCHOTHON Warehouse Edition. Hey, y'all. We are still on Warehouse Edition mode and probably will be through Christmas. What that means is that we'll be now resuming to a once a week schedule. I'll keep you posted in case there's some skips. Sometimes I travel, so some Wednesdays we may not get. Excuse me. So last week we did a whole week long Warehouse Edition where we were able to get some new art and some new hands and some new people on board. So really appreciate that. Hey, what's going on out there? If you are signing in and as people are coming into the room, please give me your name and your location, and I will put you up on the screen. Let me see people are still coming in the room. Traditionally when I did the show, we would always run on Wednesday night. And so, I don't know because we have been broadcasting shows probably since just before COVID. COVID was where we began to do shows because we couldn't go anywhere and shows were closed. So this became very, very advantageous to me to go online and do this format. And over the times, we've had some challenges with, Facebook and its restrictions and all these other things. So we're trying to get back in the groove and find out what works best for you. So if you have suggestions on what days will work, I'll probably be putting up a poll sometimes during the show. Let me know what day you think works best. I will be typically doing Wednesday evenings, but I have had I saw a trend last week when we did the show. I did a Saturday show, which I seem to be doing very well. I think we finally got all of our tech issues resolved for now because Facebook could switch up right away. So I hope everybody's all right. We had a couple things going on this week. I had two shows close, and one was at the controller's office. One was a show called Convergence that was happening at Gallery B in Bethesda. Those two things came down, and the artwork will return from those. And we are getting ready to close out the summer season, which has been very, very busy. So, hey, if you're tuning into the show, just hit the comment stream underneath or wherever you're viewing this and give me your name and the place where you're located. And I would like to speak to you, let you know what's going on. We got a couple things that I think you need to know in the house. We still have the opening of the 5x5 art of Black men. Last week we had a very, very wonderful panel discussion with at least all 9 of the 10 artists, which is really, really crazy because we had 5 artists from the Lehigh Valley area of Pennsylvania and 5 artists from Baltimore, and everybody showed. So, and we even had it telecast, and you can probably go to the UB Blake a Facebook page or Instagram page, probably the Facebook page, to see that panel discussion if you want to check it out. And we'll keep you posted on what's going on. But that show is still running through August the 22nd, which is till the end of this month. But I want to make sure you get a chance to see what I think is a very, very wonderful show. We also have the transition show that's still up. If you're in Baltimore City and you're familiar with Stem and Vine, they're a black company here in town, and I'm going to be saying that a lot. So if I get on your nerves, and you don't have to tune in, because I am promoting black. I will be promoting black, and I am now making it my intention to promote black. So if that bothers you, let me know, because that's what I plan to do. Uh, and so that show will be going on through September. So you get a chance to stop through there. You see the wide range of artists that are, and then most of these shows sometimes have 30, 40 artists in it. But this show is very, very nice and a very, very nice bit. This business sells wine and flowers. So, y'all got to spend some of that money with some other people. This is where you can go. Check out Transitions. It'll be up for a while. And I also going to give you some information of a couple of exhibitions I do have coming up. And so let's see. We got Sunshine Joy. She's tuned in. Thank you so much for tuning in all the way from Baltimore. Thank you so much as people continue to come into the room. She's viewing from YouTube, which I think is going to end up being my main location because we've been having our share of challenges with Facebook. We know Facebook does its thing, but Facebook wants you to buy ads, so that can become a problem. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get the party started, start showing a few things here and there. Our first item is a box postcard set. Now, I know some of y'all probably haven't licked the stamp in a long time, but I tell you, sometimes these postcards, these make good bereavement cards. This is like a whole dozen of these postcards, right? And one of my pieces called Heaven Sent is on the outside of it. It comes in a clear case. And so you can drop a few notes to a few people here and there. I love giving notes to people and letting them know that we're thinking about them. But this is a box set, and it normally sells for $7. I think you can get it for $5 here today. If you want the Heaven Sent box set, just $7. If you like that and you want to put it in your grab bag or do a quick sale on it, you can go ahead, and I'm going to put this at the bottom of the stream so you'll at least have it. You can quick pay by Cash App or by Zelle if you decide you want to get this set of cards. It says the Heaven Sent box set. All right, y'all, we are officially started. And that is our first item. Our second item, these are very, very cool. I have another box set here, which is, from time to time, I promote my father's work. I'm a second generation artist. My dad was an artist too. But my dad got out of the arts for like 28 years, went into printing, went into vocational education, became a printing teacher. And then by then I had became pretty well known as an artist. So he ventured back into the art before he passed in 2011? Wow, time is flying. So here's some of my dad's work. This is a card box set of his. Has a few of his images on the front cover. That's a picture of him on the package. And it has maybe 3 or so assorted cards in this box set. Just like the other one. It has a dozen of cards in here. This probably has 3 different designs. I'll show them to you so you can see the difference of them. That's one of his images. He did a lot of pattern stuff and abstract color use. That's one of the cards. And then he has this piece right here. Oh, nice cards to send blank on the back. So you can just send them, put them inside of another card. You can just write on the back of it. You can frame them. I know I'm giving you all these ideas, but that's what black folks do. And that's the image that was on the cover. So if you want this box set, same thing. It's $5 today. This is the Larry O. Brown box set. So if you like that, just say, hey, I want the box set for just $5, and we will take care of that for you. If you see anything you want on the show, just post on the comment stream. I'll see it come up in my feed. and we will make sure we track you down and get you your items. We got a couple of quick pay methods, and we also have a few items that's on the website. So right now I'm going to take time and show you how that works so you can be familiar, and hopefully I'll have all of my gadgetry down today. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so we got one box card set from Miss Sunshine Joy. Thank you so much. I will take care of that. Um, this show is going to be running for until the next show. And so anything you see on this show will be available for 1 week until the following week. So, Sunshine Joy, we got you. This box set is yours. All right. If you are tuning in and you're watching from someplace else, please chime in, put something in the comment stream, let us know you're out there. Tell me your name and your state, and we'll know. Just give me the state because I'm going to know your name when it pops up on the screen anyway. So I'm going to take time right now to show you how my website works because you might find yourself browsing one day, or you might be after the show. You might have an opportunity to look at the show, and I want you to learn how this works because a lot of our specials will be running right from the website. The significance of the Ponchothon Warehouse Edition is that we are offering a 50% discount on anything purchased from the website. And that doesn't matter what it is, this is site wide. So remember, it's up during the week of the show. And so the one thing you only need to know is I'll give a new tick on the bottom. It says you need to know that code, Ponchothon50. That's what you need to know, Ponchothon50. Keep that code in mind, dedicated to mine. Because when you go to checkout, you will see a spot that talks about the discount code, and you will be able to use that to get 50% off of whatever you find on the website. If you get something from this show, you get something free. This comes with the territory. If you get something from the show, you get something free. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what that looks like. This is our website. I'm going to go full frame on this so you can see what's going on. Okay, so when you go to our website, LarryPonchoBrown.net, it's very simple to operate and navigate through. So I'll go ahead and show you how that works. You go to this section that says shop, which is the second button. You see there's a whole list of items right there. We got open editions, limited editions, G Clays, originals, books, catalogs, gift items, you name it, it's on here, okay? What you can also do is you can go let's pick limited editions. Go to the limited edition section. You see this piece called Metamorphosis. Click that. You see that sells for $100. And we're going to go ahead and add that to the cart, for instance, right? So you can see it. And it'll pop up in the upper right-hand corner. You'll see something in the cart. And then when we go to view that cart, there's some things already in there. But I want you to look here at the bottom. You see, I put some other items in there earlier at the straight retail cost. And now you see that with the Ponchothon 50% off, that saved $1,012 from this entire order. That is how it works, y'all. If you want to save, this is the time to do it. Go straight to the website while we're on the show. If you see something you want on the show and you're browsing the website, let me know. Go ahead and get that. Know that that discount is available the entire time that we air this show. I will see it show up in the shopping cart, and it will be yours. Now, remember, we got a pretty great, robust store. So it has a lot of different items in it. We have over 90 prints. If you go here and look at our selections, if you look at our original section, which I'll be spending some time on today, if you see right there in this corner where I'm circling with the cursor, it's 372 originals in that section. We have sold quite a few of them since this past weekend, but people got really, really good investments. That's what I call them here. I don't get spoiled by this show. This is not the price you're going to get them all the time. This is the price you get for watching this show, because it saves me from having to load up a truck and go into shows and all this other thing. And you get to see some stuff here that you can't see anywhere else. So that's how the website works. I want you to keep that in mind as you view the show. And remember, our whole thing here, we're trying to get ourselves into a mode where we are buying black. And I am on the case in case you're wondering. If you are new to the show and you're just tuning in, just go ahead and put where you're from in the comment stream, and I will put you up on the screen. Next item up is a piece called The Forgotten Journey, the female version. This is the micro print. The micro print is like a 8 by 10 matted piece. As you can see, it has my signature already on it. This comes in the male and the female set, but today we are offering the Forgotten Journey micro print. If you want the Forgotten Journey female micro print, it's just $5 today. That's right, $5. If you want it, just let me know. This is already autographed. If you want this piece, just put on the Forgotten Journey micro print, and this piece right here will be coming your way and in your package. I'll do my best to keep the reflections down as I go through these items. I'm going to show you one other piece from that. I have another micro print called Transcendence. Transcendence is another piece of mine I did for the American Association of Black Psychologists many, many years ago. And we ended up doing some micro prints of that piece right there. It's also, you see, it's got a gold mat on it. This you can throw into an 8.5 by 10 frame. Get your frame from, I don't want to say Target because we're trying to stay away from Target, but you got all kinds of other places. You got, you got Walmart, you got all of the smaller stores, Ross. Some of these people already have pre-made frames at a certain size. This is 8 by 10, which is a standard size. So you can have this print framed on your wall for a reasonable price, and it is already signed. If you look at it, you see it's got a gold signature on it. If you want this piece, put Transcendence micro print, and that piece will be added to your shopping cart. And realize at the bottom, remember what the code at the bottom is great for you to use for to get your 50% off of any items that we show later in the show, especially some of the originals. And for right now, if you want to get this piece and other pieces that I've already shown, you can just Zelle or you can Cash App, and we'll take care of that piece for you. I already have one by Sunshine. She's already got a piece coming through. So, how y'all doing out there? I'm going to do a poll that I'm going to keep up through most of the show. And so we'll see how this works and if top technology is going to be on my side today. I'm going to show you a poll in the lower left-hand corner of the screen, I think it is. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you, if you're watching the show, to enter a number in the comment stream, and you will activate this live poll. And so I want to know what day you prefer to view Ponchothon. Would it be our normal slot, Wednesday at 7 p.m., our Saturday spot at 6 p.m., or a Sunday spot at 6 p.m.? If you are watching and you want to vote on that poll, just give me a number, and that number will start. And now, when you first get the first few votes in, it's going to say 100% until we get more participation. But I'll leave that poll right there for the time being. But if you are already watching the show, hey, put a number in the comment stream so we can know you're out there. And Sunshine Joy says she likes Sunday at 6 o'clock. Very, very good. I will take care of that if that's what you like. But we want to get a poll to see what you all think. It could be a possibility where I might broadcast more than one time a week. But I think one time a week is optimal for right now. What I'm planning to do also in the course of time is to also start doing more things at the studio. As we start entering to the fall season and children are going back to school, we'll probably start doing more events physically here at my studio. And so we plan to put together a pretty robust schedule, including life drawing classes, coloring sessions, you name it. We might even revamp the paint party. I'm going to ask you some polls about some things you want to do, and we'll keep you abreast of those things. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to put that poll up a little bit later so you guys can see it. If you guys have any questions you want to ask me during the pace of this show, just go ahead and give me your question right in the comment stream, and I will address that question. Okay, so for right now, I'm going to put this poll up later, but right now we got folks looking at Sunday. But right now, I need to put a vote for myself because I happen to like Wednesday. So I'll put that poll back up again. I have another question for you up here that I'll ask you while I have you on the screen, and that is, what we got here? Well, maybe I'm overloading the system here, huh? So we're gonna come back to that poll. Anyway, here we go. I got a set of cards here. This is a a no card set dedicated to the guys. You know, sometimes we get overlooked in product lines. So I wanted to put together a box set that you can give to guys because everything's got women and children on it. This is just a specialty card set. It's got 4 cards, 4 note cards, and 4 envelopes. You got 1 card. This is entitled "What Shall I Do?" I'll try to get it out the sun, out of the light so you can see it. "What Shall I Do" is one of the cards. "In Tune with Self" is another card. This is really a nice box set. Well, I could say a package. This is one of my favorite images from that series. It's called Strong. No, these also work good for, you got sons. Sometimes, our sons are overlooked. I hate to preach, but our sons are overlooked. A lot of times when you're buying art, you're buying all kinds of stuff that are reflections of you, womanhood, sisterhood, and your daughters love it, and everybody in your family loving your husband or your boyfriend don't say nothing, but you got a son, and you don't have one piece in that house dedicated to him. And I want to make sure y'all know what's happening because if you are out one of those ones out here acting like you concerned about the well-being of our young men, but yet at home you ain't got nothing on your wall to represent the boys in your house, we might have to have the conversation. This is another piece from that set called Cross My Heart. Really nice card set. I like this set. So if you like this card set, this normally is going for $10. You get all 4 cards and envelopes. And that is the Strong series of cards. That's right, Strong series of cards. If you want that, it's just $5. Normally 10. We can afford to give away a few of those to a few people. All right, I got a couple of mini prints here. If you're out there and you're watching the show, just go to the comment stream. Let me know that you're out there. If you are watching the rerun, remember that all of these things are available to you. All you have to do is follow the instructions on the show. We have items that are quick pays. I'll show you an item. If you like it, you just go to Cash App or Zelle and you can send the money. And if you note what the item is, that'll help me too, right? This is a set I did. These are 2 paintings that I did that were like done around the same time. Around the time I had my son, which was 1990 when he was born, I did a series of pieces that were homages to Roots, and that's that part of the show when the held the baby up and said the only thing mightier than yourself. This series came as a result of that when my son was born. This one right here is entitled Embrace. And this piece is a very, very popular piece. Came out in 1992. As you can see, it's a woman holding a child and a man holding a woman and a child and a tree or the environment encasing all of them into a circle. Really, really lovely piece. And then this piece right here is really more like that scene from Roots. And someone out there viewing may have this piece on their wall at home. But this is a set. You get both of these for $15. Normally you get 1 print for $15. Today you get this homage to Roots. Both of these pieces you can get for $15. And remember, anything you buy on the show, I will autograph and send you something free. So that is the Behold set. If you want that, just say Behold set 15 and that piece will be yours. Along the way, I have done some things where I need to, let me see, I got these sets here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give you a little bit of I have a couple of things that I want to show you that I want to put on the screen. But meanwhile, I'm going to show you what the packing thing looks like when you order from our show. All right, we got another set here from Sunshine Joy. Thank you so much. Hey, if you are watching the show, and I know there are a couple people out there tuned in, hey, go out there and put your name inside the comment stream underneath wherever you're viewing the video. And as you can see, you can view from Facebook, you can view from YouTube. I'm going to be pushing more of y'all to YouTube over time. But thank you, Sunshine Joy. That set will be yours. I appreciate that. The Behold set will be yours. All right, I have this. Now for a while there, I was getting ready to do a coloring book, and coloring books take a lot of time to do all the drawings, and I decided rather than do that, I want to do something larger for adults. And so what we came up with were these coloring pages. And so I don't know if you're into coloring, but here's a page that I developed. This is one of my drawings. And this page is 13 by 19. This is probably a little larger than what a placemat would be. See, it's a really nice big area. All you gotta do is go online, go to Hooby Looby, go to Miguel's Above, go to any of the art supply stores. The Blickety Blick, you can go to any of them and buy some acrylic markers. Yes, I make fun of all of the names because they're pretty funny. Dick Blick, yeah, that's funny. Hobby Lobby, yeah, that's funny. So I call it Hooby Looby, and I'm sure somebody else call it Hooby Looby. But here you go. That is the coloring page. The title of it is Their Eyes Cry. This is what the page looks like. You get yourself some acrylic markers. They cost about $12 for a set, right? But I'm going to show you one that I painted. Well, I should say colored. And what's the rule for coloring? Stay inside the what? Stay inside the lines. But guess what? There ain't no such thing as rules. If you want to color outside the lines, whose coloring page is it? It's yours. Here's one of mine that I colored in. So you can see you can have a lot of fun with this. This is if you need some therapy, you just need to be where you like art but you can't draw, but you want to spend a little bit of time on this. I'm trying to keep the light off it so you can see it. So I used a nice marker set, and then I had a lot of fun. This one probably took me, and I am a professional artist, so it took me about 2 hours to paint this. But as you can see, I had a lot of fun, and you will too. These coloring pages cost $10. If you want the coloring page, just say, I want the coloring page. Now, I'm not sending the markers to you. You have to go online and get those. I go right to Amazon, get anything that says acrylic markers, acrylic paint markers. And these will work really, really good. And sometimes they have special sets for coloring books. All right? So if you want that coloring page, just put Their Eyes Cry or the coloring page, and you'll get that coloring page for just $10. They're normally $15. And if you like that, you can go to Cash App and do it. If you are watching the show and you want to do your Cash App or your Zelle later after the show's over with, you can do that. So we're going to keep on rocking and rolling. All right, I'm going to show you a catalog, and this catalog is really important to me. This catalog is called The Collages. Now, I'm trying to get the reflection off of it. The Collages is a collection of all of my collage pieces. I have some more serious works that I do that are commentaries on human rights and civil rights and other things that are very, very important. These collages all have messages hidden in them. I currently have 2 pieces at the 5x5 Baltimore, the Art of Black Men show. The 2 of this from this series. This whole series may be maybe 20 paintings or so. Let's see. Sunshine Joy says she wants the markers. Hey, you know what? Yeah, I bet you do. Everybody do. But you can just go on. It's best to have your own set anyway. If you got kids, they're going to take them and use them for school assignments. So go on Amazon, find paint markers, and just grab you a little personal set, $20, and they'll last a long time, and you got it. And the coloring page is not glossy. It's like a semi-gloss, so it's good for pencils and good for markers. Okay? Good for pencils and markers. So the Collages catalog I like these exhibition catalogs. Whenever I do major shows, we try to do a catalog in conjunction with the show. So you can see this is called collages, and that's how it would look signed. I'll sign it for you. I just want to turn a few pages so you can see some of the images in it. The forward tells you a little bit about what the series is about. You see a couple of the images, and this is what a lot of these pieces look like. I know I'm sorry for not centering. I'm trying to keep the reflection off of it and make it so you can see it. And so this whole booklet is of pieces that are from my collage series of works. It's not something you get to see regularly because I show a lot of my color work. But in the case of the show we just did, those pieces fit because they're real commentaries about how I feel. That's another series. And so the catalog is about 24 pages. It's like a mini coffee table book. But as you can see, they deal with intimacy, sexuality. They deal with rights. They deal with Katrina. They deal with police brutality. They deal with perception of black men. Really kind of hitting home on a couple of subjects that's important to me. I don't want people to think I only do pretty pictures. I do pretty pictures too. But this catalog is powerful, y'all. If you get a chance, this is one you really should have. But catalogs normally sell for 25 bucks. And I sell them a lot online. But you can have this book today because you're watching for 10 bucks. It's got a biography about me. And it has a wraparound design of one of the pieces. Very, very nice catalogs. If you want this catalog, the Collages catalog, just put Collages catalog in the comment stream and I will put this in your collection, y'all. So let's see here. How we got a few folks that still tuned in. I'm going to put this poll back up so y'all can see what's happening. I asked the question earlier, what day do you prefer to view Ponchothon? And all you have to do to participate in this live poll is go in the comment stream and put a number, either 1 for Wednesday, 2 for Saturday, 3 for Sunday. It has to be in the comment stream to activate that. So go ahead, and if you are partial to one of those, and if you voted already, don't. But this is a good way for me to see, number one, if you're out there, number two, what day works best for you. Of course, if you're watching the rerun, this won't activate because this is for the live portion of the show. So yeah, this catalog is the bomb. Y'all need to check that out. If you do not catch it for the show, you can also go online and purchase that. Okay. All right, y'all. I got a big announcement. We just okay, so we got the coloring page is $10. And the Collages catalog is $15, normally $25. Coloring pages are normally $15. Coloring pages $10, Collages catalog $15. All right. Guess what, y'all? Guess what came in the mail yesterday? You're not gonna believe it. I should do that as one of my trivia questions. Hey, Retro Braxton, thanks you for tuning in. We are sitting here trying to navigate through the show. Hopefully you're doing well out there. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, y'all, so we got a poll, and maybe since you just checked in, Ms. Braxton, you can go ahead and do the poll with us. The poll question was, what day? Let's see here. What day do you prefer to view Ponchothon? We got 3 choices. You know how to do it. If you want to activate it, put a number in the comment stream, and it will activate our live poll. This does not work for folks that are watching the rerun of the show, which will be active for the end day. So I want to say, guess what came in. And yes, you know, some people know all my business. So that's right, y'all. The calendar came in. For those of you that watch my Facebook page, you always know what's going on. Guess what came in the mail yesterday? We got the brand new Color My Soul calendar for 2027. I know, moving too fast, but guess what? This is when our calendars typically come out, August or September, and when they come in August, they are ahead of time. So you get a chance to get the sneak peek of the catalog right here live, y'all. That's right. And we appreciate all of you that have bought them in the past. I'm going to continue to. This is my 19th calendar. Can you believe that? That's 19 years. Woo! Lord Jesus. Time is flowing and flying, but that's what it is. It's been 19 calendars. Here's a breakdown of what it looks like on the inside. It's got a nice little picture of yours truly inside there with a biography. I have a dedication in here that I will read out loud for those of you that are watching. My dedication this year is I am truly blessed to have a few 50-plus year friendships, giving honor to Eric Gregory Toombs, Bishop Michael Maynard Mabin, MMM, Geneva Marie Frazier, and Linda Gray. Always steadfast, never in judgment, and loyal to the core. Each of you have made me a better person and taught me the true meaning of friendship. Thank you for believing in me when many had counted me out. That is my dedication. I dedicate my calendar to people every year. But that's what it looks like on the inside. This calendar is dedicated to women, so we got a little thing to deal with Delta. We got some of my paintings that I'm trying to keep the reflection on. This is a glossy calendar, so it's got a lot of color in it. And then we have one of the pieces from our early Egyptian Queen series. We got this piece here, which is a collaboration with me and LaShawn Beal. Now, most of my real art fans, they frame these. Very nice size pieces. They can frame up pretty nicely. There is a dedication to AKA. That is the cover piece called Indigo Magic. This is a very, very huge digital piece that I did. This one's called Shiro. This is another collaboration with me and LaShawn Beal. It's a very nice looking calendar, y'all. This was an old piece of mine called Attitudes. That's right, y'all. This is a piece from my Egyptian Queen series. Another one of my abstract pieces. These are actually painted on one of my palettes that I use to do my artwork with. Sometimes I make them into faces. And this is a piece called The Power Within. Very, very nice. It's also part of that collage series I was just talking about. So yeah, you get first shot at the calendars. You know they will be gone and gone soon. We always saw these at the course of the year. So you can be the first one to get your calendar for $15. If you want your calendar, just say, hey, I want mine now. I will sign it and you'll get a free gift with it. That's right. $15. No sales on it yet. Just came out. You're the first person to see it. So the Color My Soul calendar. That's right, y'all. Let's see what we got going on the comment stream. Let's see. Do you have a copies of all the catalogs 1 through 19? I'm not understanding what you mean by your question, Sunshine Joy. What do you have all of the catalogs 1 through 19? Not sure what that means. Please be more specific so I can understand what you mean. Yes, for those of you that have had a chance to look at my poll, I'm still trying to figure out which day is the best day for you to view the show. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can start some trouble. But I want you to vote, and it'll show up on our live feed. And somebody just went in there and put Wednesday to give it a little bit of play. But if you want to know, that's right. I'm looking at the screen because, you know, all of the suggestions and all these other things pop up on my screen. So right now the poll is reading 50-50 for Wednesday and Sunday. We need another person to break that tie. Miss Rachel Braxton, if you are still watching, can you please go in there and let us know what day makes best sense for you? And we will go ahead and do that. All right, y'all. So that's what we got for the first part of the show. It's about, let me see. I showed you a couple small items. I'm going to get back to what we always do on the show, and that is I'm going to show you some small sketches. Now, my portfolios are pretty extensive. For those of you that don't know how it works, but traditionally when I do my sketches, I put them in a case like this. And what that does is allows me to not only protect them, but it also gives me a chance to take time to title them and figure out what the logistics are on them and everything else. So over the past week, I have been trying to show you some pieces from that series. Now, these original pieces, and I'm gonna start with collecting. These original pieces are highly collectible. No matter what stage you are, as a beginner, intermediate, or a seasoned collector, these sketches appreciate in price in a way that many things don't. So I want you to start paying close attention to these pieces when I show them. They have a retail price when they're with me. Let me show you how, because I don't want you to think my prices are all over the place. And yes, I'm making a lot of enemies because dealers are going to see this and go, why would I even support his work if he's going to offer this to people? But they don't support my work like that. They don't buy my work. They don't house my work. They consign my work, right? So in other words, I have thousands of pieces in this space where most galleries only have, at the most, if they really rock it, they might have 5 pieces of mine. If I'm just hitting my regular, they got 1 or 2 pieces in their gallery. Okay, so you get to see things that people don't get to see by tuning into this show, and I'm hoping you share the opportunity with a couple of your friends so they can know what's going on, because that is why I'm doing this, to give you a personal view of what's happening, gives you a chance to enrich your collection the way you want to on your piece speed with your budget, and not be pressured. You're home chilling. Hopefully, you got a nice drink. Hey, if you're watching the show, tell me what you're drinking. Tell me what you're drinking out there, because I don't. All I have is water. I got to get me some Izzy, some ginger beer. You know, if y'all feel sorry for me being dry on the air, you can send me a case of Izzy's. I love Izzy's. And you can send me a case of ginger beer. Don't matter what brand it is. I love it. I gotta up my drink game, and I'm hoping y'all enjoy it too. But if you are watching the show, because all of my seasoned folks with PONCHOTHON, they do have a draft. Friends that from Florida that drink martinis, and I had a friend that just passed away recently. He used to always have tea when he watched the show. Shout out to William. We miss you, William. But hey, this is a social show. So, okay, so let me get back to this question. So, um, do I have all 19? No, that does not. That's nearly impossible. Number one, a lot of the calendars sell out. So we might run several thousand of them, and then by the end of the season, they're sold out. So think about it. It's August now. We have a selling season between August and January. Okay. So that means that you will be able to get it up to January pretty easily. But then after January, there's going to be a rush in January because everybody's forgotten their calendar. And then really what we try to do is we try to offset that. So no, I don't have all 19. I do probably have at least 10. 10. Why? Is it something you want? If you want a whole collection of the back calendars, I'll give you a flat rate price for all the calendars. But it's a one-time offer. Okay? If you give me right now, do Cash App, $50. $50. I'll send you all the calendars that I have that's available to you. 10 calendars, $50. You want the whole collection? Go ahead, do it. You want that? This is what? PONCHOTHON, the Warehouse Edition. So that means if you got some ideas, some things you want, because I think you asked me to show a collaboration with me and another artist, and you purchased it. I like that. And I like the way you guys are rolling and pushing. Okay. So let me see here. I'm going to go ahead and Sunshine Joy says she is drinking La Croix water. I want to be just like you. I want to be fancy. I want to have fizzy water. I like fizzy water too. She says she can't access the poll Wednesday is best. No, no, we're going to do this the right way. So we want you to do it. Was up on the screen, and so I want you to grab it while it is on the screen again. We're going to, let's see, maybe this thing has to be, take that off, see if we can access that. There it is, there's the poll. So Miss Braxton, go ahead out there and try to put your comment, the number you want, number one. Try it again so we can see if it's activating properly. And hey, Kendall Brown, thank you so much for tuning into the show. We appreciate you, man. Missed you for the Baltimore art scene photograph, brother. Woo! We went from 80 artists the first year to 150, almost 160 artists the second year. Hey, thank you so much. So, including the new one, see, see, sometimes folks try to be a little too spicy now. Come on. So you want me to throw the new calendar in with the 50? No. Because those calendars, if you look at my website, they're all selling for $15 a piece because they're collectors after a certain amount of time. Not only that, people still purchase them and frame them. So no, I think I might have anywhere between, I'm saying 10, but no, I won't include the new one. The new one is a separate deal. But you can get all of the calendars that I have for $50. And I'll sign them. There you go. Hey, if you're watching the show, please use my poll. I know, Miss Rachel, you're trying to get to the poll, and I keep changing it by putting other things on the screen. But at this point, I want you to just go ahead and when I put it on the screen the next time, please chime in. There it is, Miss Rachel Braxton, and you too, Kendall Brown. If you're new to the show and you want me to tell me what day you prefer to see Ponchothon. Anybody viewing? We got people that's in the room. We got quite a few folks online that's viewing from YouTube. Most of you are coming in from Facebook, but most of you are coming from YouTube. So if you just put a comment underneath of the video, you can participate in this live poll. And then I'm going to go ahead and get into some other stuff, but I need you right now to go ahead and vote on this poll so I can see what's going on. Meanwhile, y'all, all kinds of things are going down. We got another vote for Wednesday. Thank you very much. That did activate. And so right now, Wednesday is looking like the best time. And I appreciate you letting me know that because sometimes I need to know what you're thinking and what you're feeling out there. All right, y'all. Y'all getting together out there. So no, I gotta. Y'all will get used to all of my humor. I have dark humor. I have sarcastic humor. I'm not being hard with anybody. We just having fun out here in this format. She says, "I'm not. I'm trying to be clear, not to get over. I know you're not trying to get over. You are a collector. You're on my collector's list. Not a lot of people are on my collector's list, so you get treated with a certain amount of care. Just wanted to be clear too. But that's what's going on. You're quite welcome. That's what it's all about." Mr. Kenneth Brown says, "Hey, I usually watch on YouTube. Thank you so much, man. Hope you're doing well." And then we'll say, take the set of 10. Gracias. You got it. I'm going to pull together those 10 calendars for you. And I do have a couple that's in my stash. So we'll make sure you got a real nice package put together. So I hope you're keeping track of all of the items you said you wanted, so that I can make sure you get each thing you requested. All right, so yes, that's what we got so far. So I'm going to get back to the sketchbook, y'all. So if you're watching the show and you want to participate in our poll, I will put it back up at another point in the show, so you can kind of see what's going on here. I have going to pick up in this sketchbook where I left off the last time. You know, we got quite a few blank spaces. Let's see, how far did I get the last time? Okay, now I have a couple pieces that are, I do a lot of pieces that are not kind of based on nudes. So I'll show you what those look like. These are studies that have become larger pieces. This one right here, see if I can get the reflections off of it. This is one of my sketches. It's done in pencil. What I try to do with these pieces, I try to do motion. I'm trying to work from, all of these are from imagination. This is a 5x7 sketch. I normally get upwards of $1,200 for these once they're framed. In my book right now, these are marked at $400. Okay, and you get to get this for 50% off. If you like this piece, it's called Love My Hips. It's a graphite drawing on drawing paper. Okay. Yes, I love the sprockets on the side. Sometimes I've seen my collectors frame it with the sprockets showing, and other times they just frame right into it. But this is a piece called Love My Hips. If you like this piece, just put Love My Hips. You can get this piece for $200, regularly $400. So when you say, hey, Poncho, why is it normally $400? Well, again, when I show you stuff in the studio, they're still in my workbooks. This is before I go to the store. This is before I go to get matting and framing and invest in matting and framing. And it's before it hits the marketplace. This is like in my studio. So you get better incentives in my studio than you would get going to a gallery, because I have to split 50-50 with a gallery. Okay. And that's whether I put framing on it or not. It works for everybody. This is a partnership business. But just trying to explain to you how it works and what the incentive is for watching the show. Another sketch. This one is called Girls' Night. Girls' Night. Same thing, graphite, 17. This is about 5x7. Today on the Warehouse Edition Ponchothon, you can get this piece for $200. And yes, those pieces kind of were done in 2007. You know, one year I tried to make a pledge to do a sketch every day, and I ended up doing 365 that particular year. And there's some years on a good year I might do 50, I might do 25, but I'm really ready to do more of that. But these pieces are done really, really well in the secondary market. Here's another piece. These abstracted figures. This was entitled Insecure. I'm trying to keep the reflections off of it, but that's a 5x7 sketch from my sketchbooks. And if you like that piece, just say Insecure, and this one is yours. If you're watching the rerun, this piece normally would sell for $400 in my studio. You can get it today for half price, $200. Insecure is the title of that piece. I have another piece here. A lot of times my sketches are, I do a lot of nude studies in my sketchbooks. And so here's another piece from that series called Flexible. As you can see in the other sketches, sometimes I use cross-hatching, but sometimes I use tone. The only criteria for my sketchbooks is that I work from my imagination. So I'm often working with forms. I'm working from imagination. And as you can see, I come up with some pretty crazy stuff. This one was done in '06. Title of this piece is Flexible. If you like this piece and you want to add it to your collection, just put Flexible, and this piece will be yours for $200. You know, by the time you take these to a framer, and I'm going to recommend a framer. For those of you that are out there that have ever used my framer, I want you to give me a shout out, please, because I recommend Jermaine Davenport of Davenport Import and Arts. This is my buddy, my friend. He has been holding me down for many, many years. I send all of my customers to him. Yes, I do framing too, but I like to send my customers to him. I frame my own work for the marketplace. I save a lot of money by doing my own framing. I've been framing for over 30 years. Okay. But Davenport's prices are better than anybody in the region. If you go to Michael's and Dick Blick and any other place that offers you framing and they're going to say they're going to give you a 65% off discount, don't believe it. They're getting over on you and they're giving you substandard materials and they're still overpricing it down for you to get 65%. If you go to Davenport and hey, what is this store show about? Black owned businesses? That's what I'm talking about. You want a black owned business? This brother is a black owned business. Yes, he is. Okay. So Davenport is what I want you to do. Check him out. He is a great guy. He does great work and he will save you lots of money and he will secure your investment. Can't stress that more. I'm dedicating this portion of the show to Mr. Davenport for all the work he's done for us. I hope you appreciate it. If you have gotten work done by Davenport, please put a shout out in the comment stream. Yes, I understand. Some of you are not from Baltimore. Some of you are in the region, but Davenport can really do framing in the region if you're in the region. Okay. But if you got work done by him before, and you're looking for a framer, this is the guy. Look him up. Davenport Imports and Arts. He's a great guy. So I'm going to get back and show you some more of these pencil sketches because I want you all to start seriously investing in small originals. This piece right here is called Standing Ground. Standing Ground. That's right. You know how it is when you're in that stubborn point. You tired of dealing with all the stuff. This is what this feels like to me. And this is a cross-hatching technique that I do for a lot of my drawings. I'm also doing some decorative stuff inside there when you look at the patterns, and there's some black and white contrasty areas in there. This piece right here is a very, very nice piece, and most people wouldn't even attribute this to me. That's what I also like about my sketches, because it shows another side of me. It shows more of how I explore imagery before I start to do my final pieces. This piece is entitled Standing Ground. If you like this original and you want to add this to your collection, normally $400. Today, this whole series of pieces are $200. If you want that piece, just put Standing Ground and I will hold this piece for you. I'm telling you, by the time Davenport get a hold of one of these things, it's going to be a bad piece. I mean, on the Saturday show last week, I showed somebody a sample of what one of my framers did. I just want to kind of spark your imagination. Some of the show is off the wall, so let me grab that real quick. For those of you that are new to the show, here is an example of a frame on steroids, man. It's heavy too. This was done by another Jermaine Page. Jermaine Page is in DMV area. Does some awesome framing. Awesome framing. I have what I call economical framers, and I have expensive framers. And he's right in the middle. A frame job like this might cost you about $400. Okay. Which is low for framing in the North. So this is an example of another piece called Bird in the Hand. As you can see, these sketches are the same size. So basically all he does is take this sketch and he will frame it out. This has got suede matting on it. It's got two different color suede. I mean, from this screen it looks black, but it's a dark blue suede and a gray suede, a silver fillet, which is what that metal, that wood piece in the middle is called, and a matching frame. Woo, Lord Jesus, look at that piece, y'all. Tell me that's not hot. This is what you can do with your framing. I love framers that know what they're doing. I can get easily $1,800 for that piece in a gallery. And that's the incentive of you coming to the show. You get to see some things that you wouldn't normally see, and that sparks some imagination, because you can take that same idea to Mr. Davenport and he'll do you right. Here is another piece called a bird in the hand. This is also cross hatching, graphite pencil on paper. When I do these sketches, I give myself a limited time frame purposely. I also try to make sure that I'm working only from imagination. So I'm not looking at sources. I'm not looking for pictures. I'm not in my phone. I'm just kind of going in my head and pulling these images out. Okay. Not so worried about the proportions, whether it's correct. It's just the stylization. And sometimes magic happens. And this one's called A Bird in the Hand. Don't know what I was thinking about when I did this. It was done in 2006. But if you like this piece and you want a bird in the hand, that is a very, very nice sketch. Imagine it being framed on like the one I just showed you. Matter of fact, I might have to give Davenport a couple pieces to do so you can see them. Bird in the hand normally sells for $400. If you want a bird in the hand, just put a bird in the hand and that piece will be yours for how much, y'all? This whole section, $200 versus $400. It's only $400. Why? Because you're buying it directly from my studio. If you were going to a gallery to acquire this piece and I framed it, especially like that one, you would be paying anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500 for that exact same piece. That's the incentive. And I will also tell you that sketches appreciate and value very, very quickly. So I know I'm going to be doing a lot of shows and you're going to be watching, and every now and then you're going to get comfortable and you want to see the next piece and the next piece. Uh, Pay attention. Don't let it slip by. Don't sleep. See, we got a couple people chiming in. Let me see what's going on. Um, I'm in the process of getting work framed by him. The pricing is better than in Chesler near Forum and framing place near Whole Foods. I'm waiting to get my art back. Yes, that's my point exactly. His work is very, very good and very economical, and he does have great prices and good work. I would say that at least all the pieces you see behind me, at least 50% of those pieces were actually either he supplied the frames for, because I do framing. There's a thing called framing and then there's fitting. Okay. So framing is when you chop the mold, you cut the glass, you cut the mesh, you do the whole thing, you put it together. See, some of y'all don't realize. Y'all walk into a frame shop and you're saying, hey, I need a piece of furniture for my piece. That's actually what you're asking for. You're asking for an encasement to your piece because it protects your investment. It's not just decorations. It's not just to match your drapes and your sofa. It's to create a barrier of space, of air between your piece and the glass. Your artwork should not be sticking to the glass, and matting is not optional. A matting is not what you take off to save money. You leave the matting so that it has a barrier so that the piece doesn't touch the glass. Okay? You never trim a piece to fit a frame. You don't go into Hobby Lobby, buy a pre-frame that's already together, or IKEA pre-frame, and then take a print that you bought from somebody and then cut the print to fit in the frame. Once you cut the print, you've damaged it, especially if it's a limited edition. Lots of rules and regulations. Some of the stuff you'll learn as you go along, but these are the mistakes people often make. When a piece is an open edition, like if you decide to frame my cards or my calendar images or whatever else, that's not what I'm talking about. But if you have a limited edition piece or original pieces, that's when this becomes very, very important. Hobby Lobby and these other places will give you a discount, but they may not use the best materials to honor that discount. Whereas Mr. Davenport has a baseline of professional materials. So you're never going to get something that's just thrown in to save money. Okay. So I'm glad you did that. Gave him a check. I've done business with all of the framers in the area, and he does a great job. And so what else are we talking about here? Black business. We got to stop acting like this is a trend. It's not a trend. We on survival mode, y'all. They don't care. But we don't care either. We have to build our consciousness and start buying black. I know there's a lot of people out here. Everybody's trying to be equitable and equality and X, Y, and Z. No. We have to start watching where we spend our money. Now, I don't know how you feel about some of the things that's been happening in the news. I can't say that I was always super sensitized myself, but this whole thing with Target and us saying, hey, we're not going to support Target anymore because they're not supporting us, but they benefit from our money. and we are contributing trillions of dollars to the economy every day and every year, and they don't treat us with respect or acknowledge our needs. So yes, that's my preachy part of the show. I am now making it a conscious effort to do business with as many black people. And I'm even talking down to restaurants, y'all. You know, I have not had my shrimp yak. Baltimore is known for y'all can be in the corner Chinese joints. Y'all can laugh if you want. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, salt, pepper, ketchup. That's right. I haven't had no shrimp fried rice since that little bit boy got killed for a bottle of water. Is that the least I can do? Yes. Now, does that mean I stop going to all Asian spots? No, because the target was Asian spots in black communities that have their, you know what they look like. They got the plastic up on the wall. They got a speakerphone so they can with a baby speaker so they can talk through the glass to get your order. You know, that's what we're talking about here. That's the target group. Now, what also is the target group is all nail salons, all these other people that treat us like you know what when we go in there and they just want our money and then kick us out the door. And we act like we don't have a conscience. I'm glad we're a little upset. I don't care if it's just a small percentage of you that's upset. I'm upset. You know, is the attack on all Asians? No, it's not on all Asians. But you choosing where to spend your money is really up to you. That has always been available to us, and that's the reason why we have struggled to unify because we won't do that. But now we realize collectively we make a difference. What happens if we start more? Just like me, I'm a black business. The man, Davenport's a black business. If you're a black business out there and you're doing something, let me know what it is. I'm hyping up all my people. That's something I'm trying to do. I want you to be with intention. Last week I showed off a friend of mine. Matter of fact, tomorrow's her day. Miss Shirley. That's right, not the Miss Shirley downtown Baltimore. That's actually a restaurant owned by Jews. And my friend Miss Shirley used to work for them. And they took her name after she passed and named their restaurants. They have a chain of restaurants in Baltimore named Miss Shirley's. This is not that same Shirley. That woman in the corner is the actual Shirley. She is the hand dancing queen of Baltimore. You know, we got some folks that's got some resumes in Baltimore and they culture keepers. This woman's a culture keeper. But guess what? She got a hustle too. We all got one. Tomorrow is her day, Tuesdays and Thursdays, y'all. She got a spot on Green Spring Avenue where you can go and pre-order dinner, $20, y'all. And she will give you one of those things and 2 side dishes, y'all. Woo! You know what? My spot is right there, and the second choice is the baked braised smothered turkey wings. I know this turned to a commercial. Y'all had to forgive me, but this is my show. I know y'all hungry just watching this now. So look, if you're in Baltimore, check my girl out. I'm putting it on the screen. Write her number down. Take a screenshot. Check her out. I'm probably going to pick me up a braised smothered turkey wing dinner tomorrow. That's right. So that's what I'm doing, y'all. I am beginning to hype up my people. If you got something you want me to hype up on this show and you in the Baltimore area, and even if you're not, please let me know. And I'm going to take care of you by getting the word out there. That's my whole segment on why and how we should be investing our money in the black community. And I'm going to be doing that every show until y'all get it. Okay, I'm moving up in size, y'all. I'm in my big book. I have about 4 portfolio books this big, and the portfolio books have originals all the way through them. Yes, I'm always working. Yes, you have to develop a system to keep track of all of this stuff. Yes, my son is going to inherit a lot of work if something happens to me. Yes, you get a benefit to tuning into this show because you get to see some things that many of my dealers have not seen. But I'm not just doing show and tell. This is an audience participation thing. So if you're watching the show, got a couple people still tuned in. I'm going to show you a couple of my smaller originals, what I call a small original. I just showed you sketches and studies, very special category. I actually focus on sketches and studies in my personal collecting. I also focus on small originals in my collection. For me, a small original is anything 16 by 20 or smaller. Okay? This piece right here is called Unsung Hero. This is new. I did this in January. Unsung Hero is a collage piece. If you look at the background is done by my father. You know, my father, when he passed, I told you he was an artist. He left me hundreds of sheets of paper that was pre-painted, things that he never completed. And sometimes I take his pieces that were half completed and I make them into collaborations. But this background is actually by him. And then I do a paper cutout thing. So this is a collage piece. That black area you see has been cut and glued. And then I go and I paint on top of that, which is done with aerosol. This piece right here is called Unsung Hero. Really depicts that masculinity thing that we're having such a difficult subject talking about these days, this black masculinity thing. But that's what I was feeling when I did it. And this piece is called, again, Unsung Hero. These pieces right here, when I get to the secondary market, usually sell for minimally around $1,000. Okay, unframed. Framing for a piece like this might cost $300. Today on the show, the warehouse edition, you can get this piece for just $500. Now you might say, hey, Poncho, man, I like that price, man, but I just can't do it all right now. If you want the piece, just let me know you want the piece and we gonna work out payment arrangements on it. But for right now, this piece right here, Unsung Hero, you can get this piece for $500. Normally $1,000 to $1,200 by the time I put framing and put it on the secondary market. So watching the show, you'll get a chance to see some pieces that many people have not seen. You know, I do an open house twice a year. And what I do with the open house is I get a chance that you come in, you get to see it, and you get to walk around. It's going to be sensory overload in here. Okay, so you want strong and the first sketch of the hips. Okay. Which one are you referring to as strong? The only one I showed strong was the card set. Is that what you wanted? If you do, say strong card set and the first sketch of the hips. I got you. I'm going to pull that piece out and put that to the side for you, Sunshine. Where did she go? Yeah, so if you're still watching the show, tune in. Let me know what's going on. I'm assuming Love My Hips is the one you're assuming. Is this the one you were talking about? Sunshine Joy? That is the first one. And if the strong is the card set, please put strong card set or no card so that I can be sure what's going on. Okay? Trying to look and see if I gave you any other titles, because I haven't shown those yet. Yes, the sketch of the man. The sketch of the man was called Standing Ground. If you're making reference to this piece here, Standing Ground is the title of that piece. So I will hold those two for use. You got it. You got it. That piece. So both of those pieces are yours. I will put them to the side. Very, very good investments. Remember what I said to you about the framing, because that is going to be a key thing. Davenport can hook you up on those pieces. And I want to see what you did. You know, some of y'all got pieces at home, and I want to start having a section of the show where you show me what you got. So if you already got pieces in your collection at home, I want you to send them to me, and I'm going to show them probably on the next show, and I'll come up with a segment where we start showing those pieces. Email me at larrypunchobrown@gmail.com and send me anything you have that's on your wall that you want the other folks watching the show to see. I want you to send me any photographs you have of works that you have purchased and framed. I want to see a nice shot of it on the wall with your camera. Email it to me, and I will definitely put them on the show so people can see what you're doing. That's so important to the show because I want you guys to get a feel for what other collectors are doing. This is a collective thing here. We're trying to get a new whole collection of collectors sensitized and buzzed about art. We got to get re-engaged, and I'm enjoying doing this. So remember, if you got works already and you want them to be seen, put them on an email, and I will put them in the show. If you're still watching the show, you got it. Those two pieces are being held for you. I'm also going to take time and put that poll back on the screen for those of you that might still be tuned in. I want you to tell me what day you prefer to view Ponchothon. Wednesdays at 7, Saturday at 6, Sunday at 6. If you simply take the number and put into the comment underneath of the video, okay, wherever you're watching the video, put that number in. It should show up on our poll, our live poll. If you're watching the rerun of the show, no, you can't activate it, but at least you get to see that most people want to see it on a Wednesday. Until that changes, we'll be running that to the end of the show. I'm going to grab a frame piece off the wall so you can see that we're on this subject, how they can be translated. I just got two pieces that just came back from an exhibition that I want you guys to see. All right, y'all. So here we go. This is a piece entitled Essence. I told you I do a lot of collaboration with other artists. This piece just came back from an exhibition, and it's framed. This is what we call a museum frame job, okay? So what it is, it's a cherry wood frame, and if you look closer, there's an 8-ply mat, which is a very thick mat around this. This is very conservative, but it's also... We do some decorative framing, but we try to keep our stuff conservative. See, you want to keep it conservative because suppose you decide you want to sell your piece. If you got gray suede and fancy stuff that match your sofa, it may stop your piece from being resold in case you need to. And I know I get it. If I bought my piece, I'm not selling my piece. I got it. Understand. Trust and believe I've seen things go a lot of different ways. And remember, you are only holding on to your work right now. Something happens to you, it passes to somebody else. Keep that in mind when you do your framing, to do it on the conservative side. Just like when you're trying to show a house. You don't keep all that fancy stuff up when you're trying to sell a house. You have to dumb it down and put some conservative things on the wall so it can appeal to more masses. Same thing when you're trying to resell art. This piece right here is called Essence. It's a collaboration. So the lady you see up front, the small lady with the earring on, was actually drawn by Dion J. You see his signature on there. And then the bigger head you see in the background connecting to all of that is my figure. And this is done in charcoal and pencil. And the background was actually done by my father. So this is actually a 3-artist collaboration. But my father's spirit is in all of those pieces for a long time. I was working on his paper just as a form of grief processing. And it ended up being that I have hundreds of pieces now created on his work. So here we go. That piece is called Essence. This frame piece right here sells for $1,800. Today on Ponchothon Warehouse Edition, you can get this piece for $1,000. That means it's the entire job and framing everything, $1,000. But this is special because it's a collaboration with more than one artist. Look at that. I'm trying to keep the light off of it because, I got some fancy lights around here, but that's the essence of the piece. Like that piece, just put essence $1,000 and that piece will be yours. So far we got some drawings, some sketches. We gave you some small originals. I even showed you a couple of frame pieces. I'm going to show you another frame piece that just came back from an exhibition. On average, I participate in about 20 exhibitions a year. Most of them in the area, sometimes out of state. But I do. In my 49-year career, I've been all over the United States, and I've even been outside of the country doing shows. So, this piece right here is a special piece too. It's another collaboration. It's entitled "Mary Mary." Mary Mary is Mary Claggett. She does this acrylic pouring process. She's an abstractionist. And I did a similar treatment on this as the mail that I showed you earlier. It's a cutout with some airbrushing and stuff. Well, I'm trying to keep the reflection out, but it's got so much, the glass. And it's got, look at this, it's got a silver frame on it. It's got a silver frame with a pewter lining and all this color. Look at how much color that piece collects. So framing can go a lot of different ways, y'all. It can go a lot of ways. Framing can... there's 1,000 different ways you can frame one piece. You just want the piece to not be distracting. This is just a simple black mat on here, 8-ply as well. Most ply on matting is 4-ply, which is like maybe just under 1/8 of an inch. It's 1/8 of an inch is like an 8-ply, but so we're talking about a 1/16 of an inch for 4-ply. But it's very, very nice piece. This piece right here sells again for around $1,800 as it is shown to you today. You can get this piece on PONCHOTHON, a warehouse edition, for $1,000 as it is. That's right. If you want this piece, just put Mary Mary, and that piece will be coming your way. Me and Mary Claggett have done quite a few pieces together. She's one of my mentees. And we've sold probably 3 of our collaborations together. So I'll see if you're still tuned into the show. We got a couple people still watching. Has everybody hit the poll yet? If you have not hit the poll, go beneath your piece. Beneath the video, wherever you're viewing. Click that button and just put a number: 1 for Wednesday, 2 for Saturday, 3 for Sunday. If you want to see our poll, our live poll activate, that's what you can do. And that way I'll get an idea what are the best days for me to broadcast the show. Because once I get a set schedule, you will meet me here and tell your friends to meet me here too, so that we can keep on keeping this party going, and I can keep on informing you of what's happening, letting you know what shows are going on, keeping you in the loop. Hey, I got 2 pieces I want to show you. I'm going to keep that poll up while I show you this. All right, so periodically I'm going to be showing you pieces from my booklets, but I'm going to give you an example. This one is done by me and my father. So my dad had a painting that was half done. This is it. It's called African Rooted. Now, African Rooted, actually, he did everything you see that's black. He had painted that whole black shape. There was no face in there. Okay? So what I did was I went back and I added braids. I added a face into his black area and finished this piece. So this is a collaboration by me and my father. Of course, his background, so his name is not on it. He never finished it. But this piece is called African Rooted. This piece generally sells from my book for $900. Today, you can have this piece, collab with me and my dad, for just $400. This piece is called African Rooted. If you decide you want to get this piece, just put African Rooted in the comment stream, and this original will be coming your way. I can only imagine this piece framed just right. So that's kind of what happens with me and my dad. I got some other pieces. My dad did a bunch of pieces that he never finished. And I can't get a warmer feeling than finishing something he started. I can't describe what that's like. It's not like me jumping on the canvas and doing my own thing. Okay, this has got a spiritual component to it that I can't even tell you where my mindset is when I'm working on it, but I can tell you that my heart rate is slower and I'm quieter. And even if music is playing, I can't even hear it when I'm doing these pieces. Kind of magical, y'all, but I'm gonna show you one more from that series. This is something he started, and I'll explain to you how it was done. This piece right here is entitled, all these were done this year. This is called, he titled this one Catalina. As you look at the back, you see that writing is my dad. He did that piece in July of '06, and I finished it in January of '26, which means that there's a 20-year gap on this one piece. When you see CQ number 87, I do a creative quarantine every January where I create artwork. I lock myself in my studio and I paint from the 1st of January to the end of January. When you see that CQ on the bottom of it and you see that number 87, that was the 87th piece I created in January. I created over 180 pieces in January by itself. That's the kind of spiritual and creative space I can get into when I'm really working. So, isn't this a bad piece, y'all? Look at that. Catalina. All right, so my dad had taken the time to do the hair. All of the hair, the wild hair, you see, he had that on there. She had no facial features. And he had put those 2 black triangles on it, but it didn't have straps. So what I did was I went back in and she didn't have skin tone. All right. I went back in, added skin tone, added details to her face, added straps to the black area, added some other colors. That leaf my father put there, it's kind of in a metallic, like copper. You can't see it from the camera. But I went and put more details in in that leaf. But this one is entitled Catalina. This is a great piece. Another collaboration of me and my dad's work. This piece would sell for around maybe $1,000 on the secondary market, unframed. Today you can get this piece for $400. If you like this piece, just put Catalina with a K, and this piece will be coming your way and add it to your personal collection. Because my goal is to expand your original collection. Because by the time you buy a print and then get it matted and then get it framed, you could have bought an original and got it framed, and they appreciate it a value just like night and day. You know, I want to try to educate you about what you're doing while you're collecting, so you're having a better idea and an appreciation for what you're doing. And remember, you're just holding on to this stuff. Your kids are going to get it soon. This is a collab. This is not a collaboration. This is another one of my silhouette pieces. I love this piece right here, though. I love things to do with dualities. I love things to do with couples, black love. This piece right here is entitled The Perfect Balance. The Perfect Balance. I took a male figure and a female figure. As you can see, that's some black paper cut out. It's laid on one of my father's backdrops. And then I go back in and I put a mask on and I spray those patterns on top of the black. And then I Mod Podge and glue them together into a collage. That's how we do it, y'all. This is a combination piece. We call this a mixed media piece. If you look at the back, you can see this paper was originally red. And you can see this got on the back, it's got like I don't know if I can get there you go, you can see it. It says number 91. That's right, y'all, we wasn't playing. Not this January, we weren't playing. This piece right here is entitled The Perfect Balance. This piece would normally sell for around $1,200 on the secondary market. Today you can get this piece for just $800. If you like that piece, just put The Perfect Balance 800 in the comment stream, and I will make sure you get this piece. That's right, y'all. All right, we are like an hour and a half in and made quite a few commitments and connections today. I think I'm going to go ahead and at some point I want to do a reveal of some of my father's pieces. If you are still tuned into the show and you're still watching and you haven't let us know where you're from, please put something in the comment stream and I will. All right. Catalina is yours. You got it, sunshine. I really appreciate your participation in the show. What I want you to do is please tell your friends, let them know what's happening. You know, pass the word around for me. Help me beat the algorithm. You know, if Facebook is going to throttle me and not show me to everybody, you can still tell somebody and it can help me beat the algorithm. That's right. See, they can't throttle me appearing on the page, but they can throttle people getting to the page. If we do word of mouth like we do everything else, folks will hear about it. And just tell them meet me in YouTube. YouTube on Wednesdays at 7 o'clock. If you don't want to get all caught up in the Facebook and all that, because we got 2 different locations where you can see the show, you know, I try to show you all those locations in the beginning, so when you can know where to go. But we got the Art of Poncho as a place on Facebook. We got Larry Poncho Brown as a space on Facebook, and we got YouTube on my YouTube channel. All I really want you to do, if you do the YouTube channel, is to make sure you subscribe, y'all, because you know some of y'all watching the show. I just need y'all to go in and do some subscribing. When you get in there, just like and subscribe. That's right. Let me know what's going on. That way I can keep up with you and we can do some better things. The whole thing is I want to ultimately make this show more interactive. I mean, as I start to learn more about what's going on, that right there is for those of you that want to view from YouTube. Simply go to my YouTube channel, Larry Poncho Brown, subscribe, like, hit the notes, hit the bell, and that way you'll know when shows are coming on YouTube. You know, send you an email. You know, the system that I'm using now will at least alert you when certain things are happening. So it's all about letting you know what's going on. I appreciate you taking the time to do that. We will be doing more of that. It says, love you lots, Maat. How much was Transcendence? Are you making reference to the Transcendence mini print we showed earlier in the show? That was only $5 if you're making reference to Transcendence. The print itself sells for, I think, $100. If you would rather have a large print of Transcendence, you can always go, okay, no problem. That's just $5. All you got to do is hit the Cash App and put $5. But make sure you put Transcendence with your $5. Anything you buy from Cash App or Zelle, I'll give you free shipping. Okay. But that piece comes as a limited edition large on my website as well. And you remember now, you get how much? 50% off. So if you go to the website, you look in that search window on the upper right-hand corner and put Transcendence in that space, you'll see 2 prices pop up. One for the original, one for the prints. Remember, you get 50% off of whatever that price is if you want a slightly larger version of Transcendence, okay? Yes. Love you lots, 21 Mott. I want you to please, while you're watching the show, do me a favor and fill out this poll. Can you please chime in and put number 1 if you want to see the show on Wednesday, number 2 if you want to see the show on Saturday at 6, or 3 if you want to see the show on Sunday at 6. This is a live poll for those of you that are looking. Please go in and make a vote right now for what day you would like to see the show aired. I'm going to, I love giving you guys a choice of where to view and what to see. But please, love you lots. You can go to YouTube. You can put your answer in the YouTube underneath the comments. You can also put it on Facebook if you decide to view from Facebook so we can get your vote and I can see where you are. So I'm still waiting for love you lots. I keep saying love you lots. This is where I love you lots. I'm reading love you lots. And that's with glasses on. It says Lotus Love 21 Mod 25. These. Okay, Miss Lotus Love 21. You will put number 3 in that spot. Please put number 3, and that will activate the poll. It only needs the number, not the actual day. And anybody else that's watching, if you want to participate in this poll, we may put this up on future shows. But for right now, All you gotta do is go in. There you go. Oh, we got a 50-50 on Sunday and Wednesday at 7 o'clock. So anybody else that's out there watching the show and you want to be part of my live poll, just put the number 1, 2, or 3 for what day you would prefer to see the show. And I'm gonna try to work with y'all and show up when you want me to show up. Because I appreciate all that you all doing to keep track of the show. Okay. Let me see here what we got. I showed you 2 frame pieces. I showed you pieces from both books, my sketches and my other sketches. I think this is probably a good point for me to wrap up the show. I usually try to run at least an hour. I have done shows that were 2 hours. I'm just going to kind of play by the amount of people I see that's in the room. If you guys want me to continue, I can. All you got to do is put something in the comment stream that lets me know that you want me to continue. Meanwhile, while you are deciding that, I'm going to show you another video so you can keep track of some of the things that are coming up and other pieces that are going on. Okay? Right now, this is a advertisement for the 5x5 Baltimore show that will be up through August the 22nd. In case you want to take the time to do that. Beautiful show. I mean, it's probably one of the strongest shows I've done in Baltimore in quite a while. It's quite a wonderful mix of artists and quite a few great expressions. And it's just an awesome show to see. Make sure you stop at the UB Blake Center to see that exhibition. That's right, y'all. I'd like to show y'all what's going on in the city of Baltimore. This is a great thing. If you ever get to go by that billboard, it's right there by the train station. You get an opportunity to see Baltimore and Maryland artists represented on a 50-foot screen. And it is something that's awesome to see. If you are an artist out there and you want to try to become part of that, simply look up LED Baltimore. If you're a Baltimore artist and you have images, all you got to do is go to their website and register. And I'm telling you, before the year is out, your work might be shown on that screen. Wonderful, wonderful opportunity. What I do is I try to take advantage of every opportunity where they only run your stuff for about a week. Maybe if they're off schedule, 2 weeks. I have a drone partner, Mr. Aaron Rice. Shout out Aaron Rice. He's the person that has done that video you just saw. He basically will take a drone out while your work is on the screen. He'll capture it for you. If you want to do that, contact me through my email, larryponchobrown@gmail.com, and I will let you know the best way to prepare for that situation. I've had many of my friends show on that situation. Great way. Hey, y'all like my show? My shirt says, painting because murder is wrong. Painting because murder is wrong. That's right, y'all. That's the mood I'm in today. So I'm going to get ready to sign off. Y'all have been tuned in to me for quite a bit of time now. Thank you so much for investing time in me. Thank you for helping me with my poll. If you are just creeping in late and you want me to know what's going on, please put your name. Just put your where you're from and your name inside the comment stream so that I can know you're out there. I see we got quite a few folks that are still in the studio, but I want y'all to do me a favor, tell a few folks so that we can have a little more fun in the room next Wednesday. I think I'm looking at my schedule to make sure we are good for next week. You know, sometimes I get on this schedule and forget what's going on with different things, but we are ready to roll, rock and roll, and we'll be ready for you again next Wednesday with another lineup of pieces. I will never have to repeat any pieces on the show. Every now and then, if something was missed and you guys didn't jump, I might show it again. I got some seasonal stuff that's coming up, like my ponchos. People slept on it, but I realize it's 100 degrees outside, so y'all not tuned into that right now. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to get ready to sign off as well. You all have a great, great night. Thank you so much for taking the time to spend with us. And until next time, y'all, peace. I love you.